Nightly greetings, one and all. William Theo here, homegrown and glad to bring you PTV News Now. Tonight's top story. Close to half a day has passed since former President Rodrigo Duterte returned from a Thanksgiving celebration and pep rally in Hong Kong and then taken into custody this morning around 9:30 by the PNP officers, Interpol agents, and the Philippine Center for Transnational Crimes, and then transferred to Villamor Air Base. The former president is in the custody of law enforcement, sitting in a waiting room in Villamor Air Base, where he was transferred from Naiya before noontime today. And barring any injunction or interim remedy or relief from a court of law to halt ICC proceedings, the former president is expected to be flown and brought to ICC headquarters in The Hague in Holland, where he will stand trial for charges of crimes versus humanity. Deputy House Speaker and Pampanga Representative Aurelio Dong Gonzales weighed in on the issue and claims the arrest of the former president is ample proof the international community does not condone in any way, shape, or form crimes against humanity, and how his arrest is about justice and accountability, not partisan politics. For his part, Quad Committee Chairperson and Surigao del Norte Representative Robert Ace Barber said the arrest was pivotal and alluded to the marathon hearings his committee conducted to arrive at certain facts and truths like the reward system for police in upping the body count of victims. House Deputy Majority Floor Leader Paulo Ortega added Duterte's arrest is a huge and significant step in attaining justice for all the thousands of victims of the war versus illegal drugs who did not receive an iota of due process, saying there is no statute of limitations on seeking justice. Staunch right-wing and hardline Israelis are in complete backup of President Donald Trump's plan to relocate all Palestinians out of Gaza for an ambitious real estate makeover to turn the rubble city into a Riviera of the Middle East. But Palestinians in every nation in the Middle East and Arab world are having none of it, as VOA's Linda Gradstein reports from Jerusalem.
The far-right Land of Israel caucus in the Knesset met Sunday in a special session to endorse U.S. President Donald Trump's plan for relocating 2.3 million Palestinians out of Gaza. Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich says he is establishing a migration authority within the Defense Ministry to encourage Palestinians to leave Gaza.
וכל שקל שנשקיע בעידוד הגירה יעלה לנו הרבה פחות.
Every shekel we will invest in encouraging migration will cost us less than fighting again and again. The budget will not be an obstacle to this plan. This is not just another plan, it is a potential for historic change in the Middle East and Israel.
Knesset member Simcha Rothman says this relocation plan is more realistic than the one recently proposed by Egypt and the Arab League, which would allow the Palestinian Authority to run Gaza without disarming the U.S.-designated terrorist group Hamas.
People will say, let's rehabilitate Hamas. Let's give Hamas all the opportunity to rebuild its forces. How come this is a realistic solution? It's not. It's dangerous to Gaza, it's dangerous to Gazans, and it's dangerous to the peace of this area.
Far-right legal scholars at the Land of Israel caucus meeting say that encouraging emigration from a war zone is not a violation of international law.
We know that in time of war, there are refugees. From Afghanistan, millions of refugees. From the war in Syria, millions of refugees. From the war in Ukraine, millions of refugees. None of this is called ethnic cleansing. Now, the creation of such refugees cannot be done on purpose, but it need not be specifically prevented as a consequence of war.
Representatives of Israeli liberal organizations disagree.
This is not voluntary removal of people, it's displacement or transfer of population. It's a war crime and it's immoral. If you make people's life miserable and then you say they want to leave the place, it's not that they voluntarily go out.
Many at the Knesset caucus called for Israel to reestablish the 21 Jewish settlements in the Gaza Strip, which were evacuated in 2005 when Israel unilaterally withdrew from the territory.
The people of Israel are ready to fight are ready to carry out President Trump's idea of immigration of the Gazans. At the same time, the people of Israel are ready and willing to fulfill the goal of Zionism to settle the entire Gaza with Jewish settlers.
While the prospect of rebuilding Jewish settlements in Gaza seems unlikely, most Israelis agree that Hamas should have no role in its future, and some believe the best way to ensure that is to get most Palestinians to leave Gaza. Linda Gradstein, VOA News, Jerusalem.
At this moment, let's shift our attention to my colleague in PTV's Baguio City studios for what's hot and happening in the Cordilleras. Audrey?
Naimbag Arabi, Pilipinas, naidanon kadagiti umili ije Abra ng runa dagiti miyembro ti Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino Program ti Trabaho sa Bagong Pilipinas Job Fair. Tinasaw a Job Fair apaset ti panangrambak dito 2025 Abranian Kawayan Festival tinangipaay tinasurok sa 10,000 a trabaho abroad kanagarup 10,000 a trabaho dito ipagilian. Inyibkas dagiti job seekers ti panagyaman da itinaangay a job fair a pinasatan dagiti national government agencies kas ti TASDA, DOLE, DTI, SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, PSA, DA, DNR, OWA, DSWD, BIR kan Department of Migrant Workers. Dagiti hard on the spot when no huts ket makaalapay ti employment assistance manipud provincial government and DSWD tapno na anayas ti panakay proseso dagiti papeles na para kadagiti baro at trabaho.
Trabaho sa Bagong Pilipinas is a national government program under President Bongbong Marcos at the DSWD isuti agency amo para kada kayo nga beneficiaryo ti Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino Program.
Iti sabali pay adamag impanakkel ti Department of Trade and Industry dagiti naaramidan da iti napalabas atawan. Ang namapulo kadua ang one town one product wenno OTOP hubs sinaipatakder iti Cordillera. Gapoy iti daytan na dan iti trabaho ti 940 nga individual ken natulungan na ti 1,300 nga micro, small, medium enterprises wenno MSMEs. Baban iti OTOP hub maitalo dagiti produkto ti maysa a lugar ken mapaduras ti produkto dagiti MSME. Iti matnegosyo center adamad lang ti 60 kadua anay patakder iti rehiyon ang makatulong iti nasurok 21,900 nga MSMEs. Ti negosyo center ket adaan panggap at tulungan dagiti MSMEs kas maitunos iti Republic Act No. 10644 wenno ti Go Negosyo Act. Kabayatan na dumanon mat iti 218 a shared service facility tinaipatakder iti Cordillera. Dumanon iti 1,898 tinadan iti trabaho gapo iti naipaay a pasilidad. Panggap ti SSF project at tulungan dagiti benepisyaryo tapno mapangato ti produksyon da ken mapaduras ti kalidad ti produktuda ken mapangato ti market ken sales.
This year po, may balak po tayong magdagdag ng 8 pa. So those will be in Abra, particularly in the municipalities of Luba and Pilar. And then in Kalinga, you have Pasil and Tanudan. Doon po naman sa Apayao, we have Karanasan and Kabugao.
Dagiti damdamag manipud iti PTV Cordillera, siak ni Audrey Villena, Naimbag Arabi.
Many thanks, Audrey, and that's what we have come to the end of our program. Join us anew tomorrow night for our evening newsbreakers at the hour. Never forget to always stay connected by catching the news right here. William Theo wishing you a